Two Brewers Yukon Single Malt Whiskey Release 22 and Release 23. Should you be grabbing these? Stay tuned for the Whiskey Whistle. Hey, my whiskey people, Mark here from Whiskey Whistle on YouTube, sharing a little whiskey awesomeness from Winnipeg, the center of North America, bringing you a two-up of two brewers. We've got Release 22, innovative. This features a sour mash and a few other interesting things. And also Release 23, which is, well, lightly peated and also with port and sherry casks. Port and sherry casks. Boom. Now I haven't tried this yet. I've smelt it, but I haven't tried it. So you'll be trying that with me for the first time. As for Release 22, well, I bought a bottle a while ago. I thought, wow, it's 51% ABV. It's natural in color. It's unchill filtered. That is what I want. And get it opened. We'll get it poured into my Peugeot L'Impitoyable, the whiskey glasses. Impitoyable. I can't say it properly. Maybe just a little bit more. There we go. Nice healthy pour. You can check out my review of these Peugeot whiskey glasses. That was about a year and a bit ago. Doing quite well, so it should be fairly high up if you search for my most popular videos. And I won't pour this one right now because it is peated and I don't want the peat wafting while I'm smelling Release 22, which is unpeated. So first of all, let's have a look at the color of Release 22. All right, so there we go. What do you see there for color? A nice coppery hue. Gold, copper, beautiful shade. I think that's quite nice. And let's see if we can get some good legs going here with these Peugeot glasses. They're not that easy to get legs. There we go. It actually works fairly well. Very slow legs, in fact. And the secondary legs are extremely slow. Keep in mind this is 51% ABV, very close to 48%. At which the alcohol-water mixture, which whiskey is most viscous. Add to that, you've got other barrel content, you've got congeners, the good stuff, the esters and tasty things that are in there, along with the ethanol from distillation that make us love single malt whiskey so much. Anyway, nice legs. Now let's check out the nose. We've got some really interesting stem ginger cookies, especially the ones from Walker's. Those are delicious. But also some mint. So I've got a sprig of mint alongside this ginger cookie. A little bit of cinnamon. Lots of vanilla. Vanilla custard, those stem ginger cookies, a mint sprig. And it's a really inviting nose, something that I would enjoy smelling for a good hour if I were just drinking this on any given night. Nice. Okay, let's check out the palate. Cheers, folks. Now it is nice and tart alongside the sweetness that you often get with Two Brewers. And age-wise, I'm guessing that's 7 to 10 years old. It could be almost 7 to 11 years old now. I'm sure they'll let me know after the fact. I didn't ask this time because I find it's just too much information to put into a video, but I'll mention it in the description below, which you should check out for all the great information down there. By the way, why not subscribe to the channel right over here and hit the bell, ding ding, so you're notified of future whiskey whistles. Also, if you're enjoying Whiskey Whistle, why not join me on Patreon? Patreon.com/WhiskyWhistle and join the Whiskey Whistle crew. You'll get your name in the credits at the end of each video, and you'll also get advanced viewing of all the Whiskey Whistles. Sound good? All right. Okay, so more on the palate here. Very juicy, fresh apples. Beautiful pears. Lots of vanilla again. Some good spice. We've got mint. We've got something slightly salty, slightly savory, which is one of the distillery characters over at Two Brewers. And the finish is a solid medium finish. A little bit dry, a little bit tart, a little bit sweet, with that ginger carrying on, the candied ginger. And it really accelerates your salivary glands and induces just a very interesting, what can I say? It's making my mouth water. That's what I'm trying to say. Final taste here with no water, pardon me. Very beefy, very malty, sweet maltiness, big vanillas, some tart fresh apple, a little bit of mint, some vanilla, stem ginger from the beginning to the end, and the nice amount of dryness that you like to have with a good whiskey. All right, well, let's pour that 23 now, and I'll add some water to the 22. And a big thanks to Two Brewers for the generous sample, which I have a tiny little bit left. I guess that was a big pour. Okay, let's add. We're going to add a few drops of water to the 51%. We're going to add a few drops of water to the 51% release 22. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's go for 10. 9, 10. There we go. 10 drops of water, less than a milliliter. I did pour a lot of whiskey. I guess I got my work cut out for me. Okay, we'll let that sit and do its thing with the water. Let's check out release 23 now together. Color. We can kind of see those side by side now. They're roughly the same hue, but I wonder, is 23 slightly lighter than 22? Actually, it's darker. It's a darker shade. I guess that's those port and sherry casks influencing the color. Again, natural in color, unchill filtered. And this release 23, is 46% ABV. Okay, let's see what kind of legs we have for 23. There we go. Nice big juicy legs. A little bit faster than 22, but very beefy. And I'm guessing that's that cask content that's influencing the thickness of these legs. The secondary leg, similarly very slow. A beautiful leg show. Hopefully that means we will have something luscious and full in the mouthfeel. Okay. The nose for 23, lightly peated, port casks, sherry casks. Yeah, I would put that at around 10 parts per million phenolic content here. It's adding a little bit of extra saltiness. It's adding some like struck match smoke-esque scent coming through. And I can smell some light dried fruit coming through on the nose. But it's really peat forward, even though it is subtle. Now they do offer fully peated as a private cask, I do believe. And if that's your thing, then you can look into that. Get your club together. Like my Winnipeg Whiskey Club, and see if you can grab a cask of 2 Brewers for yourselves. Yeah, a little bit of what's it like? It's a little bit like, I kid you not, double bubble bubble gum. Double bubble bubble gum with the Bazooka Joe cartoons in there. Notice Bazooka Joe was way ahead of his time, already covering his mouth. He was ready for coronavirus all those years ago. Yes, very, very much like a just straight up delicious, sweet bubble gum. Interesting. Even with the dusty, that I think it's cornstarch and a little bit of powdered sugar that they use to keep it from sticking to the wrapper. Okay, here we go. Let's go into the palate now. You notice the peat more on the palate. You also get more of the port and sherry influence on the palate as well. Very juicy, very red fruit, rich red fruit. The palate is more medium peated versus the nose, which seems more lightly peated to me. Still that savory saltiness, but we have something kind of like a port reduction added on top of a salted caramel pudding. And then you've got this smokiness wafting through. And yes, very mouth coating. Both of these are. The finish, a lot more smoke. So the smoke really builds throughout the palate and leading into the finish. Not quite as dry as the 22. A little bit sweeter, however, almost a little bit saltier as well. Okay, let's add some water into 23. We'll go for 7 drops. 1. That was 4. 5. Come on. 6. There we go. Well, very interesting. It's really nice to compare 2 batches side by side. You get a little bit more of an inkling into the progression of the distillery, and also it helps you change. It challenges your palate to recognize differences, and in so doing, you get to pick up more flavors and scents that you wouldn't if you had just tried the one. Okay, so 22, release 22 with water, the nose. It's got a creamery butteriness to this now. Still a cookie-esque type of a nose. But we've got some milk chocolate in here now as well. I think everybody loves finding chocolate in their whiskey. Milk chocolate. Milk chocolate covered stem ginger? Candied ginger? But with a lot of biscuits, a lot of delicious cookies like ginger snaps and sugar cookies. Beautiful. I really like that with water. I think it's better with water than without, in fact. Okay, on to the palate with water. Cheers again. Really, really thick and rich. You could go more in with water. I think that's about the right amount, about a milliliter for 30 milliliters of whiskey. I'm guessing we have some virgin oak casks in there and also some ex-bourbon. That's my guess. A tad of Dr. Pepper in there with that ginger flavor, a little bit of cola. Delicious. All right, final taste here. Super mouth-watering. It's almost a little bit herbal now. Herbal, some tartness, some for lack of a better descriptor, underripe kiwi that makes my eyebrows sweat a little bit. So the tartness is really coming out here with water. And for me, that's enjoyable. I love sour, tart foods. Sometimes I grab a pack of sour Skittles and I'll shoot the whole bag. Not very often, once in a blue moon. This style is very much in line with certain single malt Scotch whiskies, like Bladnoch, also like what's the one with the unpronounceable name? It's a Diageo distillery. It sounds nothing like it looks, and it's a Flora and Fauna bottle. Authrusk. There we go. Auchroisk. How does that become Authrusk? Anyway, so something quite like that, where you have this bold, tart, herbal, sweet tart style that is really, really refreshing, and I think this is fantastic. And yet richer. So well done. Well, let's go on to the WhiskyWhistle whiskey score for Two Brewers Release 22 Yukon Single Malt Whiskey. What is that going to be, folks? It's going to be 91 out of 100. You heard it, 91 out of 100 is the WhiskyWhistle whiskey score for Two Brewers Yukon Single Malt Whiskey Release 22 Innovative. Lovely stuff. I'm glad I got a bottle of this. When I saw it was 51%, and when I heard about the sour mash and the interest in this bottle from one of the distributors named Dave Gardner. Hi, Dave. I decided that I wanted to jump into that bottle for sure. Now, let's get over into the Release 23 with water added and see how it's doing. Really toned down the peat on the nose. Still quite salty, still quite gunpowder, fired gunpowder. The red caps you snap your finger with. This one also has some molasses cookies here. That's a cookie I used to get from Starbucks. Starbucks? That's a cookie I used to get from Starbucks. That's a cookie I used to get from Starbucks. Come on, Starbucks. That's a cookie some fresh apple here as well. And then an undercurrent of this double bubble bubble gum, along with something kind of like a strawberry soda. Cream soda also. So candy, bubblegum, cream soda, strawberry soda. A very appealing nose. The peat has taken a back seat here for the nose, but I have a feeling we'll still have some nice peaty notes on the palate. Let's see how the palate is with water. Cheers again. Absolutely still some beautiful peaty tones on the palate. More of that strawberry soda. We still have bubblegum here. A little bit of sour soothers. The red ones. What are they? Red and green or... And then again, the savory, slightly salty note coming through on the palate more with water here. Telling me that this is Two Brewers, and it is Two Brewers doing beautiful things here. On the finish, again with the bubblegum. Again with the bubblegum. There's this Korean snack that's a rice cracker with a little bit of icing on it and then a little bit of salt. So it's a salty sweet treat. And I get a little bit of that salty sweetness here as well. Kind of like salted caramel, but not caramel, but a lighter color of sugar, if you get my meaning. Some smoked pears. Just a nice waft of smoke coming through here as well on the palate with water. The finish is salty sweet, wafts of peat, a nice strawberry treat. Okay. Well, let's get on to the WhiskyWhistle Whiskey Score for release 23 from Two Brewers. What is that going to be, folks? 89 out of 100. You heard it. 89 out of 100 is the WhiskyWhistle Whiskey Score for Two Brewers, release 23, lightly peated with port casks and sherry casks. Interesting whiskey. I really like it. I just happen to like the release 22 more. And it's going to get a malt hug. Absolutely. Come on over here. And a little malt kiss. Beautiful stuff. Two Brewers. Well done, Bob and Al, the makers of Two Brewers. And to the whole team, Heather, for sending me the sample of Release 23. Dave, for always making an effort to reach out. Thanks for watching, folks. Again, subscribe. And also check me out on Patreon. Don't forget to look at the stuff in the description below, okay? Take care, folks. Goodbye now.